What's up, everyone? Welcome to BCM. This is Michael, and it's been a while, but I'm back. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check out our Patreon page to become a Patreon family member, where you will receive some cool perks. Want some merch? We've got t-shirts to baseball caps to phone covers, from boxing to crypto and everything in between, so head on over to InStock Shop to find something you like. You can find the link below. Dillian Whyte will take on Otto Wallin in the O2 Arena in the UK this coming 30th of October to defend his WBC interim title, which he took back from Alexander Povetkin when they had their rematch way back in March 2021 after losing by sensational knockout and giving the same belt away in their first meeting. For Whyte, a victory will solidify his shot at a major belt. Those major belts are currently held by newly crowned heavyweight star Alexander Usyk and UK big man Tyson Fury. Many will feel for poor old Dillian, the body snatcher Whyte, who has waited in the wings as interim champ and mandatory to fight Fury for some time, only to have that fight delayed when Wilder triggered his rematch clause with Fury for their third showdown, which made many of the people not too excited for a third installment feel like,
"What? You son of a bitch! You no good damn son of a bitch!
There were suggestions to make Fury franchise champ, which would remove his need to face a mandatory, but this was shelved when the WBC insisted and assured boxing puritans that Fury will indeed face his mandatory Dillian Whyte once the Fury and Wilder trilogy fight is over, and Fury wins, of course. More hopeful still for Whyte is the fear that his mandatory challenge will be put on the back burner for a Fury and Anthony Joshua super fight. That's been scuttled for the moment and looks unlikely to happen now that Usyk has dethroned AJ. Of course, there's always a chance this might still go ahead if AJ wins his rematch and Fury wins his trilogy fight. Regardless, Whyte must get his mandatory fight. The bloke deserves it, but first he must overcome Otto Wallin. Whyte is the blue-collar working man of the boxing world, and he has been grinding away at his opportunity to hold aloft at least one of the major belts for some time, and it looks like finally his time will come, and not a moment too soon. He is 33 years of age and not getting any younger. His age doesn't make him over the hill. In fact, for a heavyweight, the peak years are around this age, somewhere between the late 20s and early 30s. So the time to reach the top of the heavyweight mountain in terms of belts for Whyte is about now. His record and resume is a respectful one, with 28 victories, with 19 by way of knockout, and just 2 losses, both coming by way of knockout also. He has faced the likes of Alexander Povetkin, as already mentioned, winning one and losing one, Joseph Parker, Derek Chisora, Robert Helenius, Lucas Brown before he was too past his prime, Oscar Rivas, and of course AJ, which he would ultimately lose by TKO on the 7th. Whyte is a boxer far removed from his former self, and now possesses the qualities to make him a true champion, like discipline and better technique. Whyte has always carried with him decent power and good fundamentals. There are still some concentration and focus lapses, I feel, but there is no questioning his drive, determination, and work ethic. He moves and cuts the ring off effectively and has always displayed decent footwork, placing himself in good position and angles when in striking range. A student of the sport and involved in some form of martial arts since adolescence, to see him become world champion will be a great fairy tale ending, I think. Otto Wallin is a 6'5.5" southpaw Viking from Sweden. And he will not be a walk in the park for Whyte. He is aggressive and not afraid to play dirty, just ask Tyson Fury. When Wallin met Fury, he controlled and dictated the fight for the first half, showing aggression, good punch selection, and applied pressure on Fury that had Fury in some trouble for parts of the first 6 rounds. Wallin also delivered a vicious left hand that cut open a nasty gash over Fury's right eye, which Wallin exacerbated by raking it a few times with his gloves when in and coming out of a clinch. On one occasion, he was even caught doing it by the referee Tony Weeks and was lucky to not get a point deducted. What this shows is that Wallin has some dog in him, and he is willing to play dirty to get a win. And the Wallin and Fury fight was close, in my opinion, even if the scorecards show a little differently. In terms of resume, I can't say Wallin has much to boast, with his biggest names being Fury, whom he lost to, and Dominic Breazeale, whom he beat by unanimous decision. What I can say is that he is a competent fighter and definitely not someone to be underestimated, which I don't think Whyte is doing, even though he has predicted to knock Wallin out. In 23 professional bouts, Wallin has 22 victories, with 14 by knockout and just the one loss, the unanimous decision loss against Fury. Coming into the fight with Whyte, he will have the height advantage over Whyte, but the two will have the same reach. And I think this is important because Wallin will want to keep Whyte at a distance and stop him from getting inside, where Whyte will look to connect with that nasty uppercut of his, or that short right hook, and of course the bodywork that Whyte targets so often. Wallin, I think, will look to clinch and employ some roughhouse tactics if this is the case, which will be exhausting, and Wallin definitely fades as the fight extends past the middle rounds, so he will have to manage his output, work rate and physicality. Both fighters work well behind their jab and use it to great effect, but I think Whyte exploits the jab better as a means of following up with combinations as opposed to using the jab to keep an opponent at a distance or a certain range, or for point scoring as Wallin tends to do. I also give the speed advantage to Whyte, who has the faster hands and reaction time. There is a fighter versus boxer dimension to this fight, and I think Wallin, more the fighter and physical of the two, will have to find a way to make the fight rough and messy, because if Whyte can dictate the style of fight by making it a boxing match, Wallin will have a long night, unless Whyte can catch him with a big punch which might end the night early. If I'm wrong, I'm happy to take my conservative elderly parents to an Ebony Bridges weigh-in, but I see Dillian Whyte getting the W, and I think his prediction of knockout will come true. Before we hear from the experts, a reminder that if you want to show your support, you can like, share and subscribe. You can help this channel grow by becoming a Patreon member, and don't forget to check out our online merch, links provided in the description section. Life is a fight outside the ring, and if you are struggling with depression, anxiety, substance abuse, low self-esteem, debt, sleepless nights, and so much more, I can tell you that I have been there, and I have some crazy stories to share, but more importantly, I turned my life around, and my experiences might help you to do the same. You can find out more in my book, How to Get Out of Life Traps. It's available on Amazon. Just find a link below! Looking for an opportunity to make money? You better jump on that cryptocurrency train. I'm not a financial advisor, but it's pretty obvious that it's growing in popularity and utility. You can mine coins like Bitcoin on your laptop, PC and mobile phone if they're half decent, and you can do it all for free. This is not a paid sponsor, simply a great opportunity and something that I'm doing. And CryptoTab can help you generate income. All you have to do is...
just do it!
Thanks, Shia LaBeouf. Click the links below and start earning money today. If you're after some merch from Boxing the Crypto, check out my online store. In Stock Shop has you covered. Follow the link in the description section below.